We are in the midst of yet another international break, and despite our players not playing, there's still news to discuss surprising Celtic. In today's video, we'll discuss the big SPFL rule change that is set to be voted that could affect us, whilst also going over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. But first, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Kenny Dalglish believes that Celtic is on the brink of breaking through in the Champions League under the guidance of Brendan Rodgers. Having closely observed Celtic's performances against the top-tier European clubs, Dalglish acknowledges that while they have faced defeats in their first two group games against Feyenoord and Lazio, the team has exhibited periods of brilliance and resilience. He firmly believes that a tad more stamina and finesse during crucial moments can steer the team towards victories. Celtic were arguably the better team in Rotterdam until the sending off. Then Thiago Holmes' red card, the second Celtic player to receive their marching orders in a match, totally changed the game again, and Celtic put in a resilient display to keep the scoreline respectable. Lazio at home was a frustrating one for Celtic. They were the better team and deserved the win, but after conceding a poor goal in the first half, they just couldn't take the lead again, even though the ball had hit the back of the net. Then, right at the depth, Lazio scored a winner. As quoted by the Daily Record, Dalglish reflected on the matches but didn't seem too hopeful that Celtic can turn their European campaign around this year, but he did provide a positive spin, saying a result is on its way. They were a wee bit unlucky against Lazio. To lose one right in the last minute was disappointing, but that's the level you are playing at. The goal was then chopped off offside, but it's a fraction. Maeda just touched it. If he misses it, it still goes to the same place, and the boys still put it in. But that's what it's all about. You look at Celtic and Rangers games when the officials give a foul, it could just easily have gone the other way. It's fine margins everywhere and we've got no points. They had a problem trying to get a team out for the first one at Feyenoord, but I thought the referee was out of order. I didn't think it was one of his better performances. Last year against Real Madrid they hit the bar and the post in the first half. They were flying. They never had anything left come the hour and they got the better of them. It was the same in Leipzig. If they can last the hour in the game and then keep going with the quality they have, eventually they are going to get a result. Whether it will be this year or not, I don't know, but they have let themselves with a bit to do. They've got to get themselves at least into the Europa League. Scottish Premiership clubs are mulling over a groundbreaking proposal which would see clubs set aside a fixture percentage of their stadium capacity for travelling supporters, a move aimed at ensuring a consistent number of away tickets across the league. The current ambiguous state of affairs come into sharp focus following a standoff between giants Celtic and Rangers, with other clubs also cutting away allocations, most recently Hearts. Celtic will not grant Rangers an allocation of 800 tickets for the much anticipated Glasgow derby at Parkhead on December the 30th. This decision comes on the back of the Scottish champions themselves not taking any ticket allocation for their recent 1-0 triumph at Ibrox, citing safety concerns. Indeed, this isn't the first time safety fears have been wielded by the Glasgow club. Celtic refrained from taking any tickets at Ibrox for the last two derbies, reportedly pointing towards the security of their supporters as the primary cause. Hearts have not been exempt of this trend either. The Edinburgh-based club dramatically reduced the ticket quota for away fans at Tynecastle. Intriguingly, the only exception to this has been their city rivals, Hibernian, with all other clubs receiving a mere 650 tickets. As it stands, Scottish Premiership guidelines stipulate that clubs should allocate a reasonable number of tickets to away fans. However, this term's vagueness has led to varying interpretations, thereby causing disparities and disagreements. To address these concerns, a vote is slated for January the 22nd during an SPFL meeting, reports the Scottish Daily Mail. This timeline provides clubs adequate time to make adjustments to their season ticket sales in accordance with the decision. Interestingly, despite their recent clash with Rangers, Celtic appeared to champion the cause of larger away crowds. They believe that smaller number raises security concerns. Drawing parallels, UEFA mandates clubs participating in the competition to allocate at least 5% of the stadium capacity to visiting supporters. Should the Scottish Premiership adopt a similar model, it would mean seismic changes. For instance, derbies at Celtic Park could witness close to 3,000 away supporters, while Ibrox could accommodate approximately 2,500. Even Hearts, given the Tynecastle's capacity, could see their away tickets rise to around 1,000. Such a move would not only bring clarity to ticket allocations, but could also play a pivotal role in enhancing the electric atmosphere that the Scottish Premiership is renowned for. The return of Cameron Carter-Vickers to Celtic's defence line on Saturday is undeniably a significant boost, yet it presents Brendan Rodgers with a delightful but perplexing challenge. The competition for the centre-back spot is fierce, given the club's vast array of talented defenders. 6 weeks ago, Rodgers had difficulty picking defenders for his lineup due to injuries. Now with Carter Vickers firmly set as a primarily choice in central defence, the battle for the other spot rages between Liam Scales, Nat Phillips and Gustav Lagerbilk. Mark Nowacki will also be eyeing a place in the back line when he returns from injury. However, Simon Donnelly believes it's Scales' jersey to lose, and it's up to the other defenders to show their worth for a starting spot. Donnelly commended Scales, saying, "Carter Vickers is back. He's so influential. The time he's been at the club, he's been a rock. With Starfelt last year, the defence was superb. He's now had to experience different centre-backs with Starfelt leaving. Carter Vickers returning, he's such a big player and it gives the boys around him a boost as well." Speaking from experience, when important players come back, who have been such important members of the team, and been out through injury, you get a lift from that as well. Scales has stamped his authority on that position. He's really stolen the jersey from a few guys who have maybe come in and had their eye on it, so it's down to the other players to shift him. As Celtic prepares for the upcoming games and players start to get up to full fitness, Rodgers will undoubtedly have a tough choice to make. SFA Chief Executive Ian Maxwell has been talking about Hampden Park's involvement in UEFA Euro 2028 and why Celtic Park wasn't included instead. On Tuesday, Scotland was confirmed as a host country for the Euro 2028, alongside England, Wales, Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. Every country other than England will have one stadium used during the 2014 competition, with England getting 6, including 2 in London. Hampden Park will be Glasgow and Scotland's only arena. It's still a pretty big thing with the potential for up to 6 elite level matches played on our shores. The news had many Celtic and Scottish football fans hoping that we'd see major improvements made to a dated national stadium. The end stands moving closer to the pitch and the removal of a pointless running track would be high on everyone's lists, yet the news from Maxwell is disappointing. There will be changes made to the stadium in terms of preparation for Euro 2028, he told the Daily Record. We need to be realistic about what those are. There will be tweaks and upgrades rather than anything substantial because it's important we use the income and interest that the game will generate to help the game across the country for future generations. Hampden is a stadium that will host these games and host them really well, but we need to look at the infrastructure across Scottish football and how we can improve and advance that to ensure the game can be played by future generations. So we can completely write off any hopes of seeing genuine transformation at the Mount Florida ground. We might get a new pie stand if we're lucky. While Hampden being chosen as Scotland's representative ahead of Celtic Park isn't exactly a surprise, a few of you may be wondering exactly why this is the case. Despite our ground being one of the biggest football stadiums in the UK, it seems very much like Scotland was only granted one venue in the bidding process. With that in mind, Hampden's status was always going to see it chosen. Hampden Park is a national stadium, Maxwell explained. It's world famous for hosting matches. We're in the house of UEFA today and the video club is showing Zinedine Zidane scoring the Champions League final, which is an iconic moment that everyone remembers and associates with Hampden. As the SFA, we want to see games played at the national stadium. That's the only fitting place to hold such a prestigious event. Tournament matches will be far more atmospheric at Celtic Park for sure, yet it must be said that our stadium does lack some of the facilities of the national stadium. Celtic Park will remain solely for Celtic at this stage, unless the United Rugby Championship gets in touch about their showpiece game again. Celtic fans, what are your thoughts on the potential rule change, and would you be for it? Let me know down in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video, guys. Make sure you drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Remember, we have released our brand new t-shirts. We have a Brendan Rodgers Pope t-shirt and our Celtic Ultra t-shirts too. You can find them at celticapparel.com or just go down to the link in the description. Thank you, take care, bye bye.